Marleya E. Greaves Foundation in Saugus. That program is going to be ongoing. It's going to be every second Wednesday of the month from 7 to 9 p.m. You can find out more details on my website this week. I'm also going to be doing a program with the Amesbury Playhouse on July 17th, another evening of metaphysical messages, and I'll be at the Hilltop again on September 18th, again doing interactive mediumship. My guest appearances on the radio will be listed on my website as they become, available. And tonight I did want to speak about some of the metaphysical terms that I've discussed in the past. I recently did a program in my community last Sunday, and it was interesting because the people were very, very open to this, even though they admitted they didn't actually know what it was. And there was a lovely woman at the table, and she said, I really am unsure as to what we're going to be doing. And I told her we'd be doing the past, which is retrocognition, the present, and the future, which is prophecy. And I told her that I've been told by clergymen that if you do bring somebody back and it's evidentiary, and if you do give a prophecy and it comes true, then your gift is truly a gift from the divine realm. So as I began to speak to her, I brought her lovely mother back, and the mother told me that there was a baby coming, an infant. And this lady didn't have any knowledge of that, so she said, and I said, well, the baby's coming, I believe, and I hear Joseph. I said, is there someone named Joseph? And again, she wasn't quite sure of the connection. And I said, well, I'm hearing that your mother is with Frank. I said, I think Frank was an uncle of yours. And she immediately indicated that Frank had been a very, very special uncle and a brother of her mother's. Well, again, I said, there's a baby coming. And, I finished my work and I went to the next person. And around 1:30, the phone rang, and this first lady took the call, and she kind of got visibly upset, and we thought there might have been an emergency. When she finished the phone call, she was literally shaking, and she said to me, my nephew Joseph just had a baby boy at 12:15 this afternoon, and they named him my Uncle Frank. So I kind of looked at her in a puzzled manner, and she said, I totally forgot about the new baby coming and didn't make the connection to Joseph. And I said, so she cared to comment on what just happened. She said, my mother came back to me from beyond to give me the prophecy of her first great-grandchild. And I think that it made an impression on her simply because what I had told her at 12 o'clock was actually happening while she was speaking to me, even though, she and I have never met before. There was another gentleman in the room, and I'm not going to, give out personal details. I usually mask someone's identity for their privacy reasons. But this gentleman was sitting there very intrigued at what I do, and I looked at him and I said, why do they say Raymond's? And he said, that's my last name. And I said, why are they saying Paul? He said, my name is Paul Raymond. And I gave him a street. I said, Endicott Street, let's call it that. And he said, that's my name and that's the street that I live on. He said, and you and I have never met each other, and he had just decided to come to this event with his wife earlier that morning. And I can assure you the hostess didn't tell me who he was. So I walked into a group of strangers, and I gave a prophecy, which came true an hour later, and I looked at one of the participants, and I gave him his full name and the street that he lives on in a community that's about 30 miles away from where we were. That's called evidentiary, and when I can do that and I can bring back information that's valid, that's letting you know that the soul is truly eternal. I asked my mother this week to send me a message from her because it's Mother's Day next week, and I have kind of a hard time with that since my mother now dwells in the spirit realm. And I happened to go to a book fair yesterday at a local church. It's a big, big thing they have every spring. And I wasn't going to go, but I decided to run in and see what they had on my way to an event. And I ran in, and there were about maybe 1,000 books in two different corridors, all along tables. And as I walked quickly down one of the aisles, a book caught my eye. It was a little tiny blue book, and it was nestled in between two great big cookbooks. So I kind of pulled the little blue book out, and I almost fainted in the hallway. My mother had a nickname for me that nobody called me but her. No one outside the family would ever know it, and she only used it when, there were family members around. It was never, ever used in front of strangers. The name of the book was Bedelia, Bedelia. Bedelia was the nickname my mother called me from early childhood, and for me to stand in the hallway of this rummage sale and to pick a book out of 1,000 books and to have the nickname that my dear mother called me, I knew that that was a message of shining light from her to tell me, guess what? I'm watching over you, and I am sending you a message, and I know it's Mother's Day week. And for me to get that aport was particularly poignant because I can't do the mediumship for myself. So for me to get the book with that name in it, I was on cloud nine for the rest of the day. I just felt, oh my God, she heard me. So again, I tell people to have an open mind and an open heart. And if you are open to the experience, you can never, ever forget when you make the connection, because the connection is quite visceral when I can give you a date, a name, a prophecy, and it is, in fact, something that you do recognize. I do want to mention something that's becoming very commonplace lately, and it's called genetic memory. And many, many people are the recipients of donor organs, and we have to thank those people who think enough of us to agree to donate an organ after they pass, because they are truly giving us another chance at life. And recently I had occasion to go to a local event that I was hosting, and I came into the house and there was a baby spoon on the table. And the family that I was talking to, I kept hearing that somebody had donated a heart. And I told that to the hostess, and she said, actually, we donated my beloved brother's heart after he had been very ill and he had passed into spirit. So I looked at the baby spoon and I picked it up, and I said, actually, you have met the recipient. I said, he came here for dinner. And the woman said, actually, he did. I said, he picked up this spoon and he knew it was your brother's. And the woman said to me, the night that the organ recipient had come to meet them, he had gone over to the drawer to pull out, another utensil, and he picked up the baby spoon and turned to this lady and said, why am I getting such a connection to that? And what the hostess said to him was, that was my brother's baby spoon, the gentleman that donated your heart, that you now live, and it beats within your chest. And so I think the family was pretty pleased that I was able to tell them that, and I think that the donor recipient was amazed that he was able to make such a connection and picked up the vibration of the gentleman who was kind enough to donate the organ to give him another gift of life. Then there is a book out there called The Heart's Code, and I believe it's by Dr. Peter Pearsall, and it's a very wonderful book, and it's about genetic memory. And they've done studies over the last 15 to 20 years, and they find out that oftentimes when someone has been the recipient of an organ donation, they start to take on the characteristics of the person who was kind enough to donate them. One of his case histories involved a older lady who was a Smithster school teacher and led a very sedate and quiet life. When she received heart and lungs, she immediately wanted to go to rodeos, she wanted to eat Southwestern food, and she wanted to drink whiskey, which was totally unlike her. Dr. Pearsall did some checking, and he found out that the organ donor had been a rodeo owner down in Texas with the same habits that this lady was now incorporating into her own life. And it was just so obvious that this wasn't her MO, and that he did a lot of other research. And he found, too, that sometimes there have been things that are really unexplainable, but they have come to be true. And in one instance, he documented the case of a young child who received a heart donation from another young child. And the recipient began to have some disturbing dreams and was not herself. And her family was concerned enough to take her to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist met with this child several times and decided to call in the police. From this donor recipient's dreams and her visions, she was able to indicate to the police that the original donor had not died from an accident. She had been murdered. And she gave enough clues about the crime that they were able to locate the perpetrator, find the clothing that he wore, and to put all the pieces together to get a conviction. And I believe he's still serving time somewhere in a U.S. prison.
Wow, so, Linnea, that's a remarkable story. It's Candida again. I just want to let you know the lines are ringing away, so whenever you're ready to take those calls, we have...
Let's do it, okay.
We have Kristen, and then we have Alan, so Larry's going to patch him in now.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Hello? Hi, is this Kristen?
Yes, it is.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Have you ever done this before?
No, I have not.
Okay. And have you had a chance to look at my website at all?
No, I have not.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's linneastar.com. And they are actually giving me the month of February around you. Is February a month that means something to you right now? Is it a birthday, an anniversary, a passing?
I have a son that was born February 5th.
All right, well, they're talking to me about him. And why do they say Michael? Who is Michael around you?
It's Justin Michael.
All right, so your lovely son has the middle name of Michael. Thank you. And they are asking me to give you the month of December, Kristen. What is December to you? Is that a birthday, anniversary, or passing?
It's another son. His birthday's in December.
All right, why did they say December 13th, 14th, and 15th?
My daughter was born on December 13th. And
Who was born on December 13th?
I have a son and a daughter, both born in December.
Okay, and is December 13th a date you recognize?
Yeah, that's my daughter's birthday.
Your dad. Okay, may I ask you where your dad is?
My dad's birthday is December 12th.
Okay, so he was a day old. Is your father on the earth plane?
No, she's not.
All right, she's in spirit?
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry for that. That might be the person who's talking to me. They are showing me a job change around you. Is there somebody around you that's thinking about a different occupation or a different profession right now?
It could be me.
All right, well, they are showing me teaching, so I don't know if you've done teaching. Have you thought about doing something with children? I'm being told that there is a very wonderful nurturing quality about you, and either as a teacher's aide or as a teacher yourself, you might be able to make a big contribution in a child's life. So that might be a pathway you might want to think about. Why do they say Mary around you? Who's Mary?
Mary. I don't know.
Then just listen for Mary in your quest for a professional change. And why do they say James? Who's James around you?
James?
James.
I don't know that name.
Well, I hear Mary and I hear James. And they're asking for your mother. Where is your mother?
My mother passed.
All right, I think that's the lady that's talking to me. She's actually given me a full name. She says it's Mary James, like the last name is James.
Okay.
She's telling me to listen to that. She says that's going to have something to do with your future employment. And why is she showing me a ruby ring, July? What is July to you?
I don't know why they're
Well, by July, she says it could be a pathway that takes you to your new career. Do you have any questions?
No, I would love to, where it is Mother's Day next week, know that that's my mom. And
yeah, I think that it is. And she's actually showing me her ring, Kristen. Who has her wedding or her engagement ring?
Her wedding ring?
Yeah, does someone have it?
That.
You know? Pardon me?
I do have her wedding ring.
All right, I think she wants you to wear it. It keeps her close to you. And she's also showing me lilies of the valley around you. Does someone grow them? Does someone prefer them? Why is she showing me lilies of the valley? Do you have a connection to that? Then you're going to get some. That's called an aport. Like yesterday I got the book with my name in it. I don't know if you heard that. My mother called me Bedelia, and I went to a book fair, and I found the book, and it was the first book I picked up, which I almost passed out. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I was stunned. But your mother's telling me that between now and Mother's Day, she's going to try to send you lilies of the valley.
We have a whole garden full of flowers that I don't know what they are, but
all right. Well, the lily is a little tiny flower. It looks like a bell, and they're white. So I think she's either going to send you something, physically with the flower itself, or something with the symbol of the lily of the valley. And a white flower is always eternal life.
Okay.
Eternal life. And she's telling me one more thing. Why is she showing me her hair? She says, show her hair. Did someone have very, very long hair as a younger woman?
She used to dye her hair different colors every month.
All right, well, maybe that's what it is. And she says Dorothy. Why does she say Dorothy?
Oh, when she died, she wanted to be buried with red shoes.
Okay.
And we buried her with red shoes, and we were saying that was Dorothy.
All right. And she said, this is what your mom said, and I'm sorry for your loss. I totally can understand, because I think it's a profound loss to anybody, but our mother and our father, that's the most profound loss, because they made us, and they created us, they gave us life. And why does she say Lisa? Who is Lisa to you?
Lisa was one of my best friends that happened to be holding her hand when she passed away.
Thank you so much, Kristen. I think she's going to send you the lily of the valley. She showed you Dorothy. I would take that to be the connection to the red shoes. And she's giving her love to Lisa, because I think Lisa, was helping her make the transition as you were. Great. So thank you.
Thank you so very much.
You too, and you take care now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hi, do we have a gentleman on the line?
Hello.
Hi, and your name is?
Alan.
Alan, hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you, dear?
Good. Have you ever done this before?
No, I haven't, but I have a general question I'd like to ask you.
Sure.
I've listened to the program and to other people speak about the spirits on the other side, but
Right.
I'm always wondering about those who go over the other side who have not been, let's say, good people. Is there any divine justice over there?
You know, that's an excellent question. What an incredible question. Wow, you're a real thinker. I would like to refer you to Edgar Cayce, and it's spelled Cayce, and I've had that same concern myself because, you know, you do wonder about karma. And if you read the book by Edgar Cayce, it's called There is a River. He talks about the karmic debt, and his belief was that when we pass over to the other side, there are different levels of development, and the closer you are to the light and the more good that you've done in your life, your karmic debt has really been repaid, and you can make a progression up to the light, and you don't have to come back. He believed in reincarnation. On the other end of the scale, when there has been, you know, a travesty or someone has not been an unselfish person, they go through stages of progression, and it was almost like an elevator. The people at the bottom of the elevator had a long way to go, and the people at the top of the elevator had a very small way to go because they'd go to the light, and I took the light to be God. So I think that you're right. I think that each person has their own life to live, and if we live it the way we should, which, you know, the golden rule, I think we are rewarded by a progression to what we perceive as our God. And if we do not make that progression on the earth plane, I think, as Casey said, you are hindered and you are held back in your development on the other side. So I would recommend, great question, I would recommend the book There is a River, and it would answer, I think, a lot more. I can only give you a brief synopsis. And did you have any other questions?
Well, I was wondering, do I have any spirits around me?
They are asking me about your father. May I ask you who your dad is, Alan?
Do we want his name?
Is your dad in the spirit world?
No, he's passed here for years. My mother and father have both passed over.
All right, I'm sorry about that. Your father, why is your father telling me to say Joseph? Do you have a Joseph around you?
A Joseph?
Do you have someone named Joseph?
No.
All right, well, then listen to the name Joseph. But I think your father and mother are trying to give me the month of January around you. What is the month of January? Is that a birthday, an anniversary, a passing?
Oh, it's just the beginning of the year for me.
All right, well, I think what they're trying to say is that you're a wonderful son. So, you know, however close you were to them, whatever you did with them or for them, I think it stands you in good stead, because when we are good children to our families, and, you know, sometimes it's not the easiest thing in the world, but they're trying to tell me that, you know, maybe you helped them, maybe you honored whatever it was they wanted, and I think you can only expect good luck when we do something like that for our parents on the earth plane. They kind of guide us in the spirit world afterwards. Why does your dad show me his watch? Does somebody have it?
His, no, I
then
have
he's
his
telling
ring.
you to watch what's coming. I guess what he's trying to say is that, you know, your future, whatever it is, he says, watch what's coming because it's a future that's bright. Why does he say Jacob? Is there somebody named Jacob around you?
Well, I knew a Rabbi Jacob.
All right, well, he's given me a spiritual connection, and why is he showing me the city of Chelsea? Why is he showing me that, Chelsea, Massachusetts?
Well, I just recently traveled through there.
I'm sorry,
I picked
you
up some
visited?
bagels, would you believe it or not?
Well, I think your father's looking at you. And why does he say Sam, S-A-M? Who is Sam?
I don't know.
Well, I hear Sam, so listen to that. But he gave you the name of a spiritual connection that I think was important. He showed you a place that maybe you frequented recently. And he says one more thing. Why is he saying from Russia with love? Did somebody come from Russia around you?
No, I'm not of Slavic descent.
All right, well, then you're going to hear about an immigration. It looks like it could be an adoption. Somebody could be adopting a child that looks like a boy, and it could be from Russia with love. You might hear about that. So thank you for your question. That was very intriguing.
I'm going to miss you. I wish you would stay on the air.
Aren't you nice? Oh, my gosh. Look at my website, linneastar.com. What a wonderful compliment. I totally appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Good night now. Take care. And we have someone else who's on the line. And who is this?
My name is Christine.
Your name is Christine?
Yes.
Yes. Have I talked to you before?
No, you have not. I have listened. I've caught your radio show before.
Oh, all right. And you had a question for tonight, perhaps?
Yes. I wondered if you had any messages from my good mother. She died January of 2008.
I'm sorry.
And questions about living arrangements and a job, but primarily if you saw anything from my mother.
All right. Why is she showing me January 18th, 19th, and 20th? Why is she giving me those dates? When did she pass?
She passed January 12th, 2008.
All right, so January 18th, 19th, and 20th could have been just the week of mourning and maybe some of the services. I'm sorry for that. Why does she say Catherine, Kate, Kathleen? Who is that?
Her mother was Catherine.
All right, is that your grandmother, Christine?
Yes.
All right, I think she's trying to tell you maybe the week of losing her and to let you know, is your grandmother in spirit?
Yes, she is. Actually, my grandmother's birthday was January the 11th, and I did feel that she was in the room when my mom passed.
All right, I think you're right, because I think if she gives us that name, I think she's trying to tell you that's who came to take her blessed mother. Why is she showing me the town of Weymouth? Does somebody have a connection to Weymouth around you?
I was just there this afternoon.
All right, well, I live in Swampscott, so I'm kind of just making a point that I'm not geographically close to where you are, but I think your mother, like the gentleman just on the phone, his dad said he saw him in Chelsea, and he was just there. I think your mother's letting you know she saw you in Weymouth. Why does she say Weymouth Landing? Were you near there?
Not far from it.
All right, well, I think she's pinpointing where you were. And why does she say Paul, Paula, Pauline? Who's that? Then listen for, I actually hear someone in your job vibration with the name Paul, Paula, or Pauline, so listen for that. Why does your mother say Helen? Who is Helen to you or to she?
Helen was one of her best friends.
All right, is
and
Helen still
had passed
here?
also.
No? All right. She said, just to tell you, I'm with Catherine and Helen on the other side.
Oh.
I'm with Catherine and Helen. Why does your mother show me lungs? Did somebody have problems with lungs around you?
My sister.
All right, well, is your sister still here?
Yes.
She's alive. All right, well, they're just telling me this good news around lungs, so whatever. Whenever I see anything on the Earth plane, it usually is a good vibration. Why does your mother say Linda? Who is Linda? Do you have a Linda around you?
One of my friends.
You have a friend named Linda?
Yes.
All right, well, maybe, that's a nice person that, you are connected to, and I think our friends are very important to us, especially more so when we go through a loss, such as a parent or a spouse or a child. And why does your mother give me a sapphire ring? Why is she showing me a sapphire ring for September? Do you have a connection to September?
No.
Well, by September, she's telling me there could be this job opportunity that you're thinking about. And she's showing me Florida around you. Do you have plans to go to Florida at all?
There was a brief discussion about, as I age, perhaps going to Florida, but it was just in passing, a passing
all right. Well,
thought.
She said maybe in later life there could be, that snowbird thing where you go to Florida and then you come back in the good weather. And after the winter we have, I think that everybody that had that winter, they want to do that right about now. But it's getting so nice that we don't. And she does give me the name Anne. Does somebody have the name Anne around you? Anna? Anne?
Well, my grandmother was Catherine Anna.
All right, Catherine Anna. So that's your beautiful grandmother. So I think I gave you some things that you can hold on to. And for some reason, she keeps showing me green carnations with shamrocks. Is somebody Irish around you?
She loved green carnations and shamrocks.
Okay, well, it isn't St. Patrick's Day because now we're coming, more towards Memorial Day and Mother's Day. She's telling me that before Mother's Day, you're going to get something with a green carnation, and that will be from her. So your mother really liked green carnations and shamrocks?
Yes.
All right, I don't know if the shamrock will be on it. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Usually don't see them until, St. Patrick's Day, that beautiful holiday. But she says she's going to try to send you a green shamrock, and that would be an A-port, like the book I got yesterday with my name on it. I wish you well, and please let me know what comes true.
Thank you so much. I will miss you as well, being on the radio. Maybe in time we can create your returning to us.
I know. Thank you so much. What a nice compliment. I've enjoyed my time there. The staff is wonderful. Please keep listening to them. They have the most wonderful programs on. Thank you.
Many blessings.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Hi, do we have somebody else on?
No, we're all set, ready to wrap up.
We are. Well, listen, thank you so much, and you have been wonderful. You're a technical wizard. Adam is incredible with his web work. Candida is just so spiritual, and I will miss all of you, and we'll keep in touch.
I hope we do, and I hope good luck to you wherever you go and your endeavors, your book and such.
Yes, and please let me know. Keep in touch. You have my email address. I'll call in from time to time, and all of you were so wonderful to me. I won't forget that, and take care.
Thank you very much, Linnea. You have a good night.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Please stay tuned now for the Dr. Mark Mincola program. Natural Health and Healing Show coming your way here at WATD. 52 degrees around the South Shore. Tonight we'll see a cloudy night with a few showers, around 47 for the low. Winds will be light tonight, and chance of rain will be 30%. And for your Monday morning, we see a high temperature later on in the day of 57. Overcast during the day with showers at times. 57 again for the high. Winds out of the south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. A chance of rain tomorrow, 50%.
95.9 WATD FM Marshfield and 95.9 WATD.com, the South Shore's news, weather, and traffic station.